Imagine it's 10:36 p.m. and you're finally in bed. The house is quiet, the lights are off. Your body is tired, but your mind isn't. It's replaying the day in fragments, an email you forgot to answer, a bill you need to schedule, a headline about the economy, a reminder that your car insurance premium is increasing next month. Nothing catastrophic happened today. You worked, you responded, you handled things. On the surface, life is stable, but underneath that stability is a constant hum, a low-grade pressure that never fully switches off. You tell yourself this is normal, this is adulthood, this is responsibility, but there's a question that drifts through the dark. Why does living feel so mentally expensive? That's the psychological cost of modern living in 2026. It's not just about what things cost in dollars, it's about what they cost in attention, energy, and emotional bandwidth. We tend to measure economic pressure in numbers: rent, groceries, healthcare, tuition. But there's another layer that doesn't show up on a bank statement. It shows up in your nervous system. Start with the basics: housing, food, transportation, healthcare. These have always been core expenses, but in modern life, they're rarely simple. Housing isn't just rent or a mortgage. It's property taxes, maintenance, rising insurance premiums, fluctuating interest rates, neighborhood comparisons. Food isn't just groceries. It's navigating prices that shift weekly, balancing health with budget, deciding between time and money. Transportation isn't just a car. It's financing, fuel volatility, repairs, registration, insurance recalculations. Healthcare isn't just a checkup. It's deductibles, networks, coverage tiers, surprise billing. Each category requires decisions, and decisions require mental energy. In previous generations, many financial systems were more static. Prices moved but slower. Choices were fewer. Products were simpler. You bought something and owned it. Now you subscribe, you upgrade, you compare tiers. Every service offers 3 plans. Every plan has trade-offs. The burden of optimization has shifted onto the individual. You're no longer just living, you're constantly evaluating. Modern life tells you that with enough research, you can make the perfect choice: the best mortgage rate, the most efficient insurance bundle, the optimal investment allocation, the healthiest meal plan, the highest return side hustle, the smartest productivity system. That promise of optimization feels empowering, but it carries a hidden cost, because if you believe the perfect choice exists, then every imperfect choice feels like a mistake. So you carry it with you: the quiet fear of missing out on a better financial decision, the lingering thought that you should be investing more aggressively, saving more, negotiating harder, building something on the side. Even rest starts to feel inefficient. That's not just financial pressure, that's psychological taxation. Then there's visibility. In 2026, you don't just experience your own life, you experience everyone else's highlight reel alongside it. Social media collapses distance between you and lifestyles that once would have remained abstract. You see vacations, renovations, career milestones, business launches, investment wins. You know intellectually that you're seeing curated fragments, but emotionally, comparison still lands. It recalibrates your internal baseline. What once felt sufficient now feels average. What once felt impressive now feels normal. This constant exposure shifts your perception of progress. Even if your income rises, even if your savings grow, you measure yourself against a moving crowd, and the crowd is global. Financial stress used to be local. Now it's comparative. The psychological cost deepens when you consider income stability. Many careers in 2026 feel less permanent. Layoffs trend in cycles. Entire industries evolve quickly under technological pressure. Automation enhances productivity but also introduces uncertainty. Even high earners feel replaceable. So you don't just think about today's paycheck, you think about its durability. Durability becomes its own obsession. You build emergency funds not just for safety but for reassurance. You diversify investments not just for growth but for sleep. You scan headlines not out of curiosity but out of vigilance. The modern adult mind runs continuous background risk assessments, and that vigilance is exhausting. There's also the blurring of boundaries. Work follows you home through your phone. Emails arrive late. Messages ping early. Remote flexibility offers convenience, but dissolves separation. When work and home merge, financial survival and personal identity intertwine more tightly. Your worth feels connected to your productivity. If income sustains your life structure and productivity sustains your income, then rest begins to feel like vulnerability. You're not just earning money, you're protecting a lifestyle architecture that depends on ongoing performance. The architecture itself has grown more complex. Two-income households are common, but childcare costs offset gains. College savings overlap with retirement planning. Aging parents might require support. Families often straddle multiple financial responsibilities simultaneously. Each layer adds another thread to hold. None of this means modern life is worse. There are more opportunities, more tools, more access than ever before. But access comes with management. Management comes with cognitive load. And cognitive load accumulates quietly. The deeper issue isn't that life is expensive, it's that stability now requires continuous attention. In simpler systems, stability was more inert. You set it up and maintained it. In 2026, stability is dynamic. It must be monitored, adjusted, optimized. That constant adjustment extracts mental energy. And here's where psychology and finance collide in a profound way. When mental energy is depleted, financial decisions deteriorate. You default to convenience, you avoid reviewing statements, you postpone investing research, you stick with suboptimal subscriptions because canceling feels like one more task. Exhaustion becomes expensive, so the psychological cost feeds back into the financial cost. But the most powerful realization isn't that modern systems are overwhelming. It's that the true scarcity in 2026 isn't money alone. It's clarity and margin. Margin isn't just financial, it's mental. When your expenses are tightly matched to your income, every fluctuation demands attention. When you operate at full capacity, small disruptions feel amplified. But when there's space, when fixed costs sit comfortably below earnings, when commitments are intentional rather than automatic, the mental hum quiets. You don't check your bank account with tension. You don't interpret every economic headline as a personal threat. You don't feel the need to optimize every micro decision. The psychological cost of modern living isn't inevitable. It's magnified when your structure is fragile. That's the perspective shift. The goal isn't to master every financial tool or chase every opportunity, it's just simplify, to design a life where fewer decisions carry high stakes, to lower the baseline of what you require to feel stable, to let income outpace lifestyle rather than the other way around. Because real wealth in 2026 isn't just about net worth, it's about nervous system stability. It's about whether you can lie in bed at 10:36 p.m. without your mind running a silent audit of your existence. When your financial life is structured with intention and space, modern complexity stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like a landscape you can move through calmly. And maybe that's the ultimate measure of success now. Not how much you earn, not how optimized your portfolio is, but how quiet your mind becomes when the lights go out.